What if the biggest lie you've been told about aging is that your joints are just wearing out, like old car parts? For decades, doctors have told people over 60 that bone-on-bone pain is an inevitable part of getting older. They call it osteoarthritis, hand you a prescription to manage the pain, and tell you to learn to live with it. But here's the truth that should change how you look at your morning stiffness forever. Your cartilage is living, breathing tissue. It doesn't just wear down, it gets starved and actively attacked by chronic inflammation. And the most powerful lever to stop this breakdown and signal your body to rebuild isn't found in a modern pharmacy. It's found in the ancient wisdom of the Bible. Today, I am showing you 10 natural biblical spices that actively reduce joint inflammation and provide the raw materials to rebuild cartilage after 60, backed by modern clinical research and thousands of years of sacred tradition. Stick around, because number 4 is a bitter herb that actually blocks the specific enzyme that eats away at your knee cartilage. And number 8 is a fragrant spice that modern science just discovered acts as a biological scaffold for new collagen. The good news? Your joints never lose the ability to repair themselves well into your 70s and 80s. They just need the right biological signals delivered consistently. Hit that subscribe button right now. Because every week we connect modern clinical nutrition with the sacred foods your body was designed to heal with. Let's get into it. Here are 10 natural biblical spices to rebuild cartilage after 60. 1. Frankincense, also known in clinical research as Boswellia. Long before it was studied in modern laboratories, this fragrant resin was considered so valuable it was gifted to kings and mentioned over 20 times in the scriptures. Ancient healers across the Middle East didn't just burn it for its aroma, they ingested it to soothe aching bodies, stiff limbs, and swollen joints. What those ancient generations understood through divine wisdom, modern rheumatology has now confirmed under a microscope. Frankincense contains a highly potent compound called AKBA, acetyl-11-keto-beta-boswellic acid. This isn't just a mild, everyday anti-inflammatory. AKBA specifically targets and shuts down an enzyme called 5-LOX, which is the exact biological trigger that causes the inflammation that destroys your cartilage. After 60, your body's natural inflammatory response often gets stuck in the on position, a condition researchers call inflammaging. You simply cannot rebuild new cartilage if the joint is constantly on fire. A landmark study published in the International Journal of Medical Sciences found that patients with osteoarthritis of the knee who took Boswellia extract reported a massive reduction in pain and a significant increase in joint mobility in as little as 7 days. Frankincense clears the inflammatory fire so your body can finally get to work repairing the tissue. You can find high-quality Boswellia extract in supplement form, or you can steep edible, food-grade frankincense resin tears in hot water to make a sacred healing tea. This is the foundation of our list, the ancient spice that puts out the fire in your joints so the rebuilding can begin. 2. Myrrh. If frankincense is the spice that puts out the inflammatory fire, myrrh is the compound that clears the wreckage. Mentioned throughout the Old Testament as a principal ingredient in the sacred anointing oil, and famously gifted alongside frankincense, myrrh has been revered by ancient apothecaries for its deep, restorative properties. For centuries, traditional healers didn't just use it for its scent, they applied it directly to swollen, stiff joints to restore movement and ease the heavy ache of aging bones. What makes myrrh so fascinating to modern rheumatologists is how it behaves when paired with frankincense. A landmark study published in the journal Scientific Reports discovered that combining frankincense and myrrh creates a powerful synergistic effect. This means the two resins together suppress joint inflammation far more effectively than either one alone. Myrrh contains unique active compounds called furanose-sesquiterpenes. Think of these compounds as a biological broom actively sweeping away the dead, degraded cartilage cells that accumulate in your joint space and cause that gritty, grinding sensation every time you bend your knees. After 60, your body's natural clearing mechanism slows down significantly. That cellular debris builds up inside the knee or hip capsule, creating a toxic, acidic environment that prevents any new cartilage from forming. By steeping a small piece of food-grade myrrh resin with your frankincense tea, you are actively helping your joints clear the wreckage, creating the pristine biological environment your body desperately needs, so the rebuilding process can finally take root. 3. Cinnamon. You probably have this in your pantry right now, completely unaware that it was once considered more precious than gold and was a key ingredient in the holy anointing oil described in the book of Exodus. But cinnamon's role in your body goes far beyond simply flavoring your morning oatmeal or coffee. It is an absolute metabolic powerhouse for your joints, working on a completely different pathway than other spices. To understand why cinnamon is crucial for cartilage repair, you have to understand the silent enemy of your joints, high blood sugar. When your blood sugar spikes, your body creates advanced glycation end products, appropriately called AGEs. These AGEs attach to your cartilage, literally making the tissue stiff, brittle, and prone to snapping like an old rubber band. Cinnamon contains a highly potent compound called cinnamaldehyde, which actively stabilizes your blood sugar and stops the formation of these cartilage-destroying AGEs directly at the source. A clinical study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition showed that regular cinnamon consumption significantly reduced systemic inflammation markers and joint swelling in older adults. But here is the critical detail you cannot ignore. You must use true Ceylon cinnamon, not the cheap cassia variety found in most discount grocery aisles, which can be hard on the liver in large doses. Sprinkle a heavy dash of Ceylon cinnamon onto your morning yogurt or mix it into your tea. You are gently sweetening your food while simultaneously protecting your remaining cartilage from turning brittle and breaking down. 4. Turmeric. If there is one biblical spice that acts like a precision medical strike against joint destruction, it is turmeric. Cultivated and traded across the ancient Near East and referenced throughout centuries of traditional medicine for its rich, golden hue and therapeutic power, turmeric was revered as a sacred root long before modern pharmacology existed. Ancient societies knew that consuming this golden root restored vitality and kept working bodies supple. But today's biomechanical research reveals an even more breathtaking mechanism. Cartilage breakdown in your 60s and 70s isn't just a slow wearing down of tissue, it is an active enzymatic attack. When joint inflammation remains chronically elevated, your body produces specific destructive proteins called matrix metalloproteinases, or MMPs. Think of MMPs as molecular Pac-Men that literally chew through the collagen matrix of your cartilage day in and day out. Turmeric contains a brilliant bioactive compound known as curcumin, which acts as a direct inhibitor of these MMP enzymes. It essentially disarms the biological Pac-Men before they can devour another layer of your joint lining. Furthermore, curcumin blocks NF-κB, the primary genetic master switch that turns on systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. In a randomized clinical trial published in Trials, researchers compared turmeric extract directly against a popular prescription anti-inflammatory drug in patients with severe knee osteoarthritis. The results were astounding. Turmeric provided the exact same degree of pain relief and functional improvement as the pharmaceutical medication, but without the devastating stomach bleeding or cardiovascular risks associated with long-term NSAID use. To make turmeric work for joint rebuilding, you must understand a critical rule of biochemistry. Curcumin on its own is poorly absorbed by the human digestive tract. To unlock its full healing potential, you must always combine turmeric with a pinch of black pepper. Black pepper contains piperine, a compound that increases curcumin absorption by a staggering 2,000%. Stir a teaspoon of organic turmeric powder and a pinch of black pepper into warm coconut milk or golden tea every afternoon. You are taking an ancient biblical spice and using modern biochemistry to preserve every millimeter of remaining cartilage in your body. 5. Ginger. Thick, knobby, and intensely aromatic, ginger is a close relative of turmeric that holds a distinguished place in ancient botanical traditions. Long traded along the frankincense roots that crisscross the biblical world, ginger was prized not only for settling the stomach, but for warming cold, stiff joints that refuse to move in the morning. Modern rheumatology now understands that ginger's warming sensation isn't just an illusion. It reflects a powerful biological process taking place right inside your joint capsule. As we age past 60, blood flow to the microvessels surrounding our joints naturally diminishes. Cartilage itself has no direct blood supply. It relies entirely on the fluid circulating within the joint capsule to deliver essential nutrients and carry away cellular waste. When circulation slows down, your cartilage literally suffocates and starves. Ginger contains active, pungent compounds known as gingerols and shogols. These compounds act as potent vasodilators, expanding microblood vessels and driving fresh, oxygenated blood directly to the tissues surrounding your joints. Clinical studies published in Osteoarthritis and Cartilage demonstrated that ginger extract significantly reduced joint pain and stiffness upon standing in older patients suffering from severe knee degeneration. The gingerols actively shut down inflammatory cytokines, the chemical messengers that tell your nerves to register joint pain, while simultaneously enhancing synovial fluid circulation. This means ginger provides a double benefit. It numbs the agonizing ache while delivering the fluid lubrication your joints need to slide smoothly without friction. Incorporate fresh, crushed ginger root into hot water with a squeeze of fresh lemon, or grate raw ginger into your daily meals. By making ginger a daily staple, you are actively restoring circulation to cold, stiff knees and hips, providing the fluid environment necessary for your cartilage to recover and rebuild. 6. Rosemary. Evergreen, aromatic, and deeply symbolic in ancient cultures where it was strewn across wedding altars and burial sites alike. Rosemary was cherished in the biblical world for its exceptional resilience. It thrives in harsh, rocky soil with minimal water, storing within its needle-like leaves a potent array of protective botanical compounds. Traditional Mediterranean healers used rosemary not just for culinary seasoning, but to invigorate the body, clear the mind, and soothe the deep, aching stiffness of joints exposed to damp, cold weather. Modern nutritional science reveals that rosemary contains two exceptionally powerful constituents, rosmarinic acid and carnosic acid. When your joints suffer from chronic wear and tear after 60, oxidative stress runs rampant in the synovial fluid, essentially rusting your joint tissues from the inside out. Rosmarinic acid acts as a heavy-duty antioxidant that neutralizes these destructive free radicals, shielding your vulnerable cartilage cells from premature cellular death. Furthermore, carnosic acid has been shown in biochemical studies to inhibit inflammatory pathways that degrade collagen matrices. Think of rosemary as an internal shield that protects the existing cartilage you have from breaking down under the daily mechanical stress of walking, gardening, or climbing stairs. Steep fresh rosemary sprigs in boiling water to make a fragrant, restorative tea, or chop the leaves finely and roast them with root vegetables. You are tapping into a botanical tradition that has protected joint mobility for centuries. 7. Thyme. Though often dismissed as a humble culinary herb, thyme was highly prized in ancient times and is frequently referenced in historical texts for its purifying and strengthening properties. In ancient temple medicine and domestic herbalism alike, thyme was burned or infused to ward off physical decline and support recovery from exhaustion. For an aging body, thyme offers a uniquely targeted benefit that goes far beyond its pleasant, earthy aroma. Thyme is exceptionally rich in a natural bioactive compound called thymol. Beyond its well-documented microbial defense properties, thymol possesses powerful antispasmodic and anti-inflammatory capabilities that directly benefit the musculoskeletal system. When joint inflammation flares up, the surrounding muscles often lock into a painful spasm as a protective mechanism, pulling the joint tight and accelerating bone-on-bone friction. Thymol helps relax these tense supporting muscles, relieving the crushing mechanical pressure that grinds down your cartilage. A study investigating plant-derived anti-inflammatories noted that essential oils and extracts from the thyme family significantly downregulate pro-inflammatory cytokines in human tissue cultures. By loosening the muscular tension around your knees and hips while suppressing local inflammation, thyme creates a balanced environment where movement becomes fluid rather than agonizing. Brew a concentrated infusion of fresh thyme leaves sweetened with a touch of raw honey, or add generous handfuls of the fresh herb to your soups and broths. You are employing a sacred Mediterranean culinary staple to ease the physical grip of joint stiffness. 8. Garlic. Long before modern science isolated its active compounds, garlic was revered across the ancient Near East as a sacred plant of vitality, famously recorded in historical texts and traditional provisions of antiquity. For aging joints, garlic serves as a potent protector against cartilage degradation. It is exceptionally rich in an active sulfur compound called diallyl disulfide. Clinical studies in rheumatology have revealed that diallyl disulfide limits the activity of cartilage-damaging enzymes, acting as a biological roadblock against the progression of joint wear. As we age past 60, low-grade systemic inflammation can slowly chip away at your joint cushioning. The sulfur compounds in garlic help neutralize the oxidative stress that accelerates this breakdown. Crush a fresh clove of garlic and let it rest for 10 minutes before cooking with it. This simple activation step unleashes its maximum healing power, protecting your knees and hips with ancient, time-tested defense. 9. Cloves. Traded along the ancient spice routes that connected the biblical world to distant lands, cloves were prized as a rare and precious commodity, carried by caravans across vast deserts and dangerous seas. Ancient healers utilized this fragrant spice not only for its warming, comforting aroma, but to soothe deep-seated aches in stiff, weather-sensitive joints that protested every time the barometric pressure dropped. For generations, people understood intuitively that warmth and relief lived inside these tiny, nail-shaped buds. Modern biochemical analysis shows that cloves contain one of the highest concentrations of antioxidant power of any plant on Earth, anchored by a powerful bioactive compound called eugenol. Eugenol functions as a natural, highly effective anti-inflammatory agent, targeting the exact biochemical pathways that drive chronic joint discomfort and tissue breakdown. When you incorporate cloves into your teas, broths, or warm dishes, you are delivering a concentrated dose of relief straight to the microvessels surrounding your joints, easing the grinding pain and restoring smooth, frictionless movement. 10. Black Cumin Seed. Known historically in the Middle East and ancient texts as the blessed seed, black cumin, scientifically known as Nigella sativa, has been used for over 3,000 years in traditional formulations to support overall physical resilience, vitality, and longevity. In ancient herbal traditions, it was trusted as a supreme remedy for deep bodily weakness, sluggish recovery, and stubborn joint stiffness that resisted ordinary care. Science has now caught up to this sacred tradition with astonishing precision. Black cumin seeds contain a remarkable multi-targeted compound called Thymoquinone, which exhibits profound anti-inflammatory and tissue protective effects. Modern research indicates that Thymoquinone helps suppress the specific inflammatory molecules and enzymes responsible for breaking down collagen in articular cartilage. By adding a pinch of black cumin seeds or cold-pressed black seed oil to your daily routine, you are engaging a generational, time-tested tradition backed by robust modern data, giving your joints the ultimate shield against the ravages of time. Rebuilding your cartilage after 60 was never about chasing synthetic laboratory miracles or accepting chronic pain as a normal part of aging. It was always about returning to the pure, unprocessed provisions that sustained generations before us for thousands of years. By combining these powerful natural biblical spices with consistent daily movement, you are giving your body the precise biological signals, protective antioxidants, and raw structural materials it needs to repair, protect, and thrive. You never truly lost the remarkable power to heal. You just needed the right tools delivered consistently to your table.